Ever feel like you're on an emotional roller coaster, trying to balance your deep thoughts with the world's chaos? Well, you're not alone. You're sitting in a quiet coffee shop, lost in thought about the meaning of life, when suddenly your phone buzzes with a work emergency. Sound familiar? That's the life of an INFJ. Deep, complex, and sometimes overwhelming. But what if I told you that an ancient philosophy could be the key to unlocking your INFJ superpowers? Yep, you heard that right. Today we're diving into 8 Stoic rules that completely change my life as an INFJ, and trust me, they might change yours too. From taming that perfectionist voice to finding peace in a world that doesn't always get you, these Stoic secrets are like a toolkit for your INFJ soul. Let's explore how the wisdom of ancient philosophers can help us navigate the modern world as sensitive, thoughtful INFJs. Before we start, please hit the like button, comment, and subscribe so you won't miss any of our weekly deep dives into the world of personality types. And if you are looking to achieve a deeper understanding of yourself and your personality type, click the link in the comments to take our favorite free personality test. Let's dive into our first Stoic rule that can totally change your INFJ life. Rule number 1, practice radical acceptance. As INFJs, we often wish things were different. Maybe you've thought, if only my job was more fulfilling, or I wish people understood me better. But here's the thing, constantly fighting against reality only leads to more stress and frustration. This is where radical acceptance comes in. It's about accepting things as they are, not as we wish they were. Now, this can still lead to change. It means we stop wasting energy fighting against what we can't control. For example, let's say you're stuck in traffic. You can't control the cars around you, but you can control how you react. Instead of getting frustrated, you could listen to a podcast or practice deep breathing. By accepting what we can't change, we free up mental energy to focus on what we can change. This is helpful for INFJs who tend to overthink and worry about everything. Rule number 2, cultivate inner virtue. As INFJs, we often have a strong sense of right and wrong. We care deeply about being good people and improving the world. The Stoics were all about this too. They believed that true happiness comes from living a virtuous life. But here's the catch. We can't control how others behave or what they think of us. What we can control is our actions and character. So instead of worrying about what others are doing, focus on being the best version of yourself. This might mean standing up for your beliefs, even when it's hard. Or it could be as simple as being kind to someone having a bad day. We align our actions with our INFJ ideals by focusing on our integrity and values. This creates a sense of inner peace and purpose that's truly life-changing. Rule number 3, embrace impermanence. Change can be challenging for us INFJs. We like to plan and prepare for the future, and unexpected changes can throw us off track. But the Stoics had a different view. They saw change as a natural part of life, something to be embraced rather than feared. Think about it this way. Everything in life is temporary. The good times won't last forever, but neither will the bad times. Remember that it's not permanent when you're going through a rough patch. This can be comforting. On the flip side, savor those moments when things are going great. Don't take them for granted. By embracing impermanence, we learn to appreciate the present moment more fully. This can help INFJs stop worrying about the future and enjoy the here and now. Rule number 4, practice negative visualization. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Negative visualization? That sounds terrible. But hear me out. This Stoic technique is a powerful tool for increasing happiness and reducing anxiety. Here's how it works. Take a few minutes each day to imagine losing something or someone you value. It could be your job, your home, or a loved one. Now, I know this sounds depressing, but stick with me. By imagining these worst-case scenarios, we appreciate what we have more. It's like hitting a reset button on gratitude. Plus, it helps us prepare mentally for challenges that might come our way. This practice can be helpful for INFJs who tend to worry a lot. It shows us that even in our worst imagined scenarios, we'd find a way to cope, which can make our everyday worries seem much more manageable. Rule number 5, develop emotional resilience. As INFJs, we feel things deeply. That's one of our superpowers, but it can sometimes be overwhelming. The Stoics believed in developing emotional resilience, the ability to experience intense emotions without being controlled by them. One way to do this is by separating our emotions from external events. For example, you might feel hurt or angry if someone criticizes your work. But remember, their words are just their opinion. Your worth isn't determined by what others think of you. Try to observe your emotions without judgment. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or anxious. But instead of getting caught up in these feelings, try to step back and look at them objectively. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is this emotion helpful right now? By developing emotional resilience, we can experience our deep INFJ feelings without letting them overwhelm us. It's like having an emotional superpower. Rule number 6, live according to nature. When the Stoics talked about living according to nature, they didn't mean we should all go live in the woods, although that might sound appealing to some introverted INFJs. They meant aligning our actions with universal principles and our true nature. For INFJs, this means embracing our natural strengths and values. We're intuitive, empathetic, and idealistic. Instead of trying to fit into a mold that doesn't suit us, we should lean into these qualities. Living according to nature also means accepting our limitations. As INFJs, we often want to help everyone and solve all the world's problems, but we need to recognize that we can't do everything. It's okay to set boundaries and take care of ourselves too. By living in harmony with our true nature, we can find a sense of purpose and fulfillment that resonates with our INFJ souls. Rule number 7, practice mindfulness. As INFJs, we spend a lot of time in our heads. We're always thinking about the future, imagining possibilities, and trying to understand the deeper meaning of things. While this can be a strength, it can also lead to overthinking and anxiety. That's where mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness is about focusing on the present moment without judgment. It's a way to ground ourselves in the here and now instead of getting lost in our thoughts about the past or future. Try this simple mindfulness exercise. Take a few deep breaths and focus on your senses. What can you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel right now? This can help bring you back to the present moment when you're feeling overwhelmed. Practicing mindfulness can balance our future-oriented thinking with an appreciation for the present. This can help reduce stress and increase our overall sense of well-being. Rule number 8, contribute to the greater good. As INFJs, we deeply desire to make the world a better place. The good news is that this aligns perfectly with Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believe that we all have a duty to contribute to society's greater good. This doesn't mean you have to save the world single-handedly. Remember what we said about accepting our limitations? It could be as simple as volunteering at a local charity, being a good friend, or using your talents to help others. When we contribute to something bigger than ourselves, we find a sense of purpose and meaning. This is especially important for INFJs, who often feel they need to be more understood and put in the right place. We align our actions with our deepest INFJ values by focusing on how we can help others and make a positive impact. This can lead to a profound sense of fulfillment and happiness. Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. These 8 Stoic rules have been game-changing for me as an INFJ, and I hope they'll be just as transformative for you. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Start small, such as practicing radical acceptance when you're stuck in traffic, or taking a few minutes for mindfulness each day. Over time, these small changes can lead to big transformations in how you think, feel, and interact with the world. As INFJs, We have so much to offer the world. By incorporating these Stoic principles into our lives, we can learn to manage our emotions better, find more peace and purpose, and make an even more significant positive impact on those around us. But here's the thing, mastering these 8 Stoic rules is just the beginning. One more secret could take your personal growth to the next level. It's a method that only a few top personal development gurus are using, and it's helping them transform their lives in unique ways, but hardly anyone is talking about it. In my next video, I will break down this hidden strategy step by step, so you can experience massive growth in your life. If you're ready to unlock even more of your INFJ potential, click the video on the screen now. Thanks for watching. Remember to stay curious and keep growing. See you in the following video.